Hello everyone, Jonathan here from Triple M Games, and in this video we're going to be making a bonus enemy that flies across the top of the screen, and when we shoot it, we get bonus points. So let's get started. Let's open up a web browser and head over to my GitHub page. Then we're going to go to Master, and select Episode 9 Bonus Enemy. Then we're going to go to Code and download zip. That will make sure that you have all the code from our last video. Open up Godot Game Engine. And open up the sprites, enemies, and then we're going to right click on enemies, new folder, bonus, alien, 01. And I'm going to select my images that I downloaded. Just drag and drop that in. And there we go. We now have our alien images. So let's open up an instance. Enemies. We'll just select enemy 01. We'll zoom in over here. We're going to go to scene, save scene as, and then we'll create bonus enemy 01, save. So there are going to be a number of things that we're going to do. First off, I'm going to select our script here. I'm going to File, Save As, and then we'll go with bonus enemy 01 and save. And for enemy, we're going to select the script and make sure that it is set to bonus enemy. I'm going to double check and make sure that our other enemy instance didn't change the script, so we're doing good this time. I'm going to change the texture to match our bonus enemy. So I'll go to Sprites, Enemies, Bonus Alien 01, and then just drag the first frame in. Now, one thing to notice is that our area 2D collision is a little bit smaller than our first enemy was, so I'm going to select the collision shape 2D. I'm going to click over on this arrow and new rectangle shape 2D. Then we can just grab the handles here and scale it up to match. And we could always select the move tool, hold shift, and move it down just a little bit. There we go. And let's just make it 8 by 4.5. There we go. Okay, so we now have a bonus enemy. Let's go into scripts, and we'll zoom up to the top and see what we need. I'm going to go full screen for this. The bonus enemy is going to spawn at the top left, and then it's just going to continue to move over to the far right. And once it reaches the far right, it's going to remove itself, or if it collides with the player laser, then it will remove itself and add to the score. So let's go over to the shield list. We don't need the shield list because we only have one health point. Technically, I could just have the health removed, but we're going to leave that around. We could leave randomized and use it for speed whenever it comes in, but I'm thinking I'm just going to remove that for now. And we no longer need that because we're not modulating anything. And let's remove that because we no longer have the shield health. We'll also remove the global game over because we're not colliding with the player. And we'll also remove the colliding because we're not colliding with the walls. I'm going to add to the if alive. I'm going to move the bonus alien to the right. So we'll do position dot x plus equals 1 times delta. This will make sure that the enemy is always moving to the right. And we can test that by playtesting the bonus enemy scene. Notice that the enemy is heading over to the right. Very slowly though. We can adjust that here, or we can give it a speed variable. I'll just set it to something like 8. Could give it a little bit more of a challenge and say 28. Seems pretty good for our script. Now let's go to 2D scene, select our enemy, and where we have our character sprites, we're going to change that to 4, and then we'll just drag in the bonus enemy sprites. Let's change the frame rate. Go back to script, scroll up to FPS delay, and now we have a bonus enemy. Let's open up our level. We'll go to Scenes, Levels, Level 1, double click to open, and on Level, we're going to right click, add child mode. This is going to be a position, 2D. We'll change this to bonus spawner. Then inside the bonus spawner, we're going to right click, add child mode, add in a sprite, and then we'll add our sprites, enemies, bonus alien 01, and then just drag that into the texture slot. That way whenever we move this around we can see where it's going to spawn from, and it might be a good idea to spawn it somewhere right around here-ish, so it's slightly off screen. And then we're going to add a script to this, no comments, and then we will navigate to scripts, enemies, and we'll say bonus spawner, create, and I'm going to copy from the player spawner, just select all this, Control C, go back to our bonus spawner, and Control V. We have a bonus enemy. We'll just say new enemy. And we'll remove that. Now if we select our bonus spawner, we have a bonus enemy instance. So if we go over to Instances, Enemies, we'll select our bonus enemy 01, and we'll drag that onto that slot. And if we click the play scene button, it's automatically going to spawn in the bonus enemy. Just missed it. But it's just going to keep going, and it's not going to remove itself when it reaches the end of the screen. Also, it's always going to spawn when the game starts, and that's not exactly what we want. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to add child mode, I'm going to have a timer. Now with this timer, we're going to leave that on idle, we're going to set the wait time to 1, also go ahead and set that on auto start. I'm going to go over to Node and Signals, Timeout. Click on Connect. We're going to have to select the bonus spawner and Timer Timeout. And now on Timer Timeout, we're going to enter timer. So we're getting the timer, and then we're going to set wait time equals to 1. And then we're going to spawn our enemy. I'm going to remove spawn from ready so it doesn't start when the game starts. And one thing I need to do is go to the bonus enemy 01 script. And we need to scroll down to where whenever we remove the enemy, we don't want to mess with the global aliens from the bonus enemy because it isn't in the same category and it's not adding and removing how many aliens are left on screen. So we're just going to remove that, else it's going to cause problems. And if I save, and if we playtest the game now, I'm going to notice that the bonus enemies start spawning from the left. And if we shoot it, we get some extra score. But the enemies are not being removed at the edge, so we can adjust that real quick too. Under the process, we'll just put it at the top. If position dot x is greater than globals dot screen size dot x. Save that and we'll playtest the game. And they should remove themselves when they reach the edge of the screen. So we'll need to give it a little bit of a gap. So we're going to say plus. The size of our enemy is around 16 by 16, so let's do plus 8. And that should remove the and there we go. The enemies now go off screen smoothly. And we can decrease or increase the wait time, maybe around 3-ish. And if we go back to the bonus enemy spawner, and we'll set the wait time to 3. One thing we could also do is just say variable time equals 3. I could do const actually. Const. We don't change time. So we'll just say const time. And what we could do is also set the timer wait time in the beginning. That way it's always going to be whatever we set there. So if I set that back to 1, it's just going to automatically be set to 3. Although it looks like we're going to need to wait a whole lot longer. So let's set that something to like 30. And there we go. We've got an enemy that spawns every 30 seconds. Let's just set that up to 30. And one thing we can do is go back to the bonus enemy. And we'll set the score to something like 25. And that should be it for our bonus enemy. Well, before we end this video, I noticed that in the debugger we have an emit signal error. So let's go back to our bonus enemy scene. And let's go to our enemy, go to the script. Our area 2D connect area entered colliding. We no longer have a colliding function. So let's remove that. And if we save, and if we run the game, that error should be gone. Let's go back to level 1 timer. And set the timer down to 1. And there we go. That error message is gone. That concludes this video. In the next episode, we will be creating power-ups so that whenever we collide with them, we'll be able to shoot faster, move quicker, or something else. Thank you for watching this video, and have a good day.